afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you are seeing this video. I want to welcome you to the A Better Life Together Bridge Project Wednesday webinar series. As you all may already know, BRIDGE stands for Bridging Resources into Diverse Groups Everywhere. And what we do is provide families of individuals with disabilities and the individuals themselves with knowledge, support, advocacy, helping them navigate getting services as they're trying to live their fullest life possible. This morning, we're so excited. We have presenting San Diego College of Continuing Education. They're a public, non-credit educational institution in San Diego, California. It's part of the San Diego Community College District, along with 3 two-year community colleges, San Diego City, San Diego Mesa, and San Diego Miramar colleges. Without further ado, I want to introduce you all. Let me just make sure that we are all set up and ready. I feel like we are. Just 1 second. I'll be editing this out of our replay.
Take your time.
Oh my word. Thank you all for your patience.
Oh, no.
Without further ado, I want to introduce you to San Diego College of Continuing Education's Valeria Ramirez. So if you're sitting there, if you're off camera, on camera, if you just want to, because we're still virtual, don't let this hand touch this hand, but this is how we clap for the Wednesday webinar series. Welcome, Valeria. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for having us. I'm Melissa shared. My name is Valeria Ramirez, and I'm currently serving as the acting outreach coordinator for San Diego College of Continuing Education. We're excited to be here with you all and share a little bit more about what College of Continuing Education is, what we have to offer, and how we can support you to reach your next career and or educational goals. Before we get started, I always like to tell folks that this is your presentation. This is your time to ask questions, any clarification, any doubt. So don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're a little shy and maybe your audio's not working, no worries. We have our chat available up and running, and I will be answering the questions in the chat after our presentation today. I also went ahead and added our contact sheet to the chat so that you can have that available. Go ahead and download it, save it in case that maybe at the moment, the information that I will be sharing, it's not for you. Maybe it's for somebody else, or maybe it's for you down the road. You already have our contact information should you need to connect back with us. So before I get started, and again, thank you for welcoming me into your house, coffee house, library, wherever it is you're watching us. But I want to share a little bit about why I do this work. I was talking to Melissa and sharing with her that I grew up in a very small town right next to Bakersfield. And when it came time to continue my education, I wasn't aware that there was a CSU and a community college in my area, in my hometown, driving distance from me. And then when it came to go to college or continue my education, I was under the impression that the only way to continue my education was going to college or community college. But even in that first semester in college, second semester in college, I found myself not knowing what college was. I was just going with the motion. And it took me a little longer than expected to finish my education, and it worked out in the end. But I did have friends, family who, like me, we were told that college was the one way to go, or that was the one option to continue your education. And it did not always work out for everyone else that I encountered. And so my goal today is to increase awareness on San Diego College of Continuing Education. Um, and I'm not saying taking away from CSUs, UCs, community colleges, or private schools. My goal today is to increase your awareness of another option for you to continue your education here in San Diego locally. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So a little bit of what is San Diego College of Continuing Education. So there's many unique aspects of San Diego College of Continuing Education. One special aspect of us is that we actually fall under the umbrella of San Diego Community College District. So if you've heard of City College, Miramar College, Mesa College, those are actually our sister colleges. They focus, or they're the community college branch, while we're the non-credit continuing adult institution. We provide free and short-term career training, high school diploma, ESL classes, professional and personal development. But because we are under the San Diego Community College District, that also allows us to provide folks with a direct pathway to the workforce and or to continue their education at City, Mesa, and Miramar. Under San Diego College of Continuing Education, we also have 7 different locations located throughout the city of San Diego. The farthest one down south in San Diego is in Mountain View area, right off the 805 and Imperial Avenue. And the farthest one up north is in right on the campus of Miramar College. You're welcome to attend any one of our campuses, but ultimately you would be attending the campus where your program and or class is being offered. Another very special aspect of College of Continuing Education is that we are free. Now, I want to be very clear about what I mean by free. So let's say that you're choosing to continue your education at a private school, at a vocational school, at a community college. When you register for classes, they're going to send you a bill to pay for your classes. At San Diego College of Continuing Education, when you register for classes, you don't get a bill. Enrollment and tuition is completely free. Now, you may be wondering, well, how can I access this? Who can attend? And the very simple answer to that is that as long as you're 18 years of age at the time of applying, anyone is welcome to attend. We're not income-based. We don't look at citizenship. All we ask is that you're 18 years of age at the time of applying. Our application doesn't take more than 5 minutes, and you're ready to apply and start taking classes and or accessing our services. So that's a very quick and brief overview of College of Continuing Education, but I want you to keep the following in mind as we move forward. We're non-credit, we're part of San Diego Community College District, we have 7 different campuses, and we are tuition free. So let's jump on next to the next slide. So we have many options for folks to continue their education or receive training or learn a new skill, whatever your situation is. We always like to say there's a home for you at San Diego College of Continuing Education. Today, I want to focus on a few of our different programs, like our career certificate training programs. These are short-term and can be completed in as little as 6 to 12 months. There's no tuition and enrollment cost. These programs don't require for you to have a high school degree or high school diploma or equivalency. You can get started with your next career and educational goal here with us. And we offer short-term career training in 9 different areas. We have our accounting and business, which provides you an introduction to working in a business office, communications, writing memos, writing reports, time management, But also another side to it is building your own business. If you have an idea of a business and you're not sure how to get started, you might want to consider starting with their small business growth planning and growth certificates to help you bring your idea to fruition. Another area that we provide training or short-term training to is our digital media program. This program provides you entry-level training to InDesign, Illustrator, Adobe, and Python, as well as developing mobile app applications. You can careers in the digital media and programming area can lead to animation, graphic design, web development, working as a freelancer, maybe in developing flyers, presentations, things of that nature. We also have our child development program, and this child development program specifically works on the social, emotional, cognitive, and physical development of 0 to 5-year-old students. We also have our healthcare area that we provide training on. Our healthcare is an entry-level education to the medical field. The most popular program here is our nursing assistant. It can be completed in as short as 8 weeks, and you can be prepared to sit for the state certification exam to become a certified assistant. Now, if you might remember that I shared that there's no enrollment fees to our program, and there isn't. But in the particular case of the healthcare program, there is a supply fee that you may be responsible for. The supply fee may include your immunizations, if you haven't had those, your background check, your physical, the cost of your state certification exam, your scrubs, your stethoscope, a watch, a textbook, and those costs can range anywhere between $500 to $800. Now, I don't want the cost to discourage you. You want to talk to us, let us know what your situation is, and we can determine if there's some funding options for you, whether it be to cover some of the cost, if not all of the cost. We also have our automotive program. It's a very hands-on, robust program. You'll be looking at how to prepare quotes, customer service. You'll be looking at brakes, oil change, motor, transmission, auto and body detailing. And everything is done on site. Our classrooms for our mechanic program actually look like a mechanic shop. So it's very different than your traditional classrooms, but it's also a very exciting and robust program. And actually our females, in the field make more money than male employees in the field. Another program that I want to share today with you is our Culinary Arts program. Our Culinary Arts program provides you with a comprehensive training and education on cooking, baking, food nutrition, food costs, and management of a professional kitchen. There's no enrollment cost for a program. However, some of the supplies that you may be responsible for include purchasing your chef coat, your knife set, your books, and your ingredients or supplies for the items that you'll be making. And that can range about $450. But again, don't let the cost discourage you. We do have a book rental program and a chef coat rental program that we have available. Moving right along to our computers and information technology. This is our IT world. If you like working behind the scenes with computers, want to understand the difference between servers, softwares, programming, this is the field for you. Or maybe you're interested in learning a new skill and you want to get started here. Our clothing and textiles arts program, a comprehensive program. It teaches you not only how to construct a jacket, jeans, an apron, or shoes or a purse, but it also gives you an insight to the retail aspect of it. In the fashion industry, technology, terminology currently being used. This program, some of the fees that may come about include the cost for your materials, fabric, things of that nature that you need to construct. But we do have a reuse store that we have previous students, businesses in the area that have donated gently used fabric, yarn, string, buttons for you to be able to use for free. And last but not least, we have our skilled and technical trades. We offer training in HVAC, electronics, plumbing, and welding, all hands-on. And you might think that you would need supplies to get this started, but actually all of the supplies for these 4 programs are provided for you. You're welcome to purchase your own gear and equipment, but you don't have to. Everything will be provided for you. Now, I know that that was a lot of information. So if anything kind of caught your interest and you're interested in learning more, don't hesitate to reach out. We can schedule you for a one-on-one appointment via phone, via Zoom, or in person, and we could talk a little bit more about each of the programs. The one thing that I do want to keep in mind is that these programs, again, there's no enrollment cost to enroll in the program. It can be completed in as little as 6 to 12 months. Some of the programs are offered in a hybrid model, meaning that you are in person part-time of the class and online another portion of the class. And we're going to be enrolled, or we're currently in the enrollment process for our summer semester that's going to be starting here June 13th. Again, that's our summer semester is going to be starting June 13th. So if you're interested in one of these programs, you're in the perfect window to get all of your ducks in a row, get up and running, and be ready for starting one of our classes here in the summer. The other thing that I do want to point out, not only with our certificate programs, but any of our in-person classes or activities, the district is requiring folks to provide proof of COVID vaccination. If you don't want to, are not quite not ready to provide proof of COVID vaccination, no worries. We invite you to take our online classes. All right, so let's take a deep breath there and let's move on to the next section here. So the next piece that I want to talk to you about is our high school diploma and equivalency program. This is for folks who are no longer in high school, are 18 and older, and want to earn their high school diploma or equivalent, whether that be the HiSET or GED. As a student, once you're a student, you will be meeting with your high school counselor here at the College of Continuing Education to determine which option is best for you. The first option is that you complete a total of 24 high school college credits to earn your high school diploma. Now, let's say that maybe you did a couple of years in high school and you have some high school credits already completed. Then before you meet with your counselor, you would send over those transcripts, and your counselor then would evaluate before you meet with him or her, and help you determine if any of those previous credits can be counted towards your 24-unit requirement. So for example, I was working with a student who did a few years in high school, and come to find out they had 20 high school credits already completed, meaning that they only had to do the remainder 4 units, and they were able to complete that within a year. Now, if you don't have any high school credits, then please do not get discouraged. Completing the 24 college credit units, very much doable. It might just take a little longer, but we're here for you to help you, support you, and get you through the program. The classes are online, and they're about 6 to 9 weeks long. So they move pretty quickly. Now that's option 1. Option 2 gives you the opportunity to take the preparatory classes for the HiSET or GED, and they're offered in Spanish and English. This program is also offered online. And we recommend to take, depending on where you're at, your comfort level with writing, reading, science, social studies, and math, that you take 5 to 7 prep courses before you sit for the HiSET or GED. Now, that's just a recommendation. If you just need a refresher in social sciences and science, you can take those, be done, and if you feel comfortable and ready, sit for the HiSET and GED. All right. So again, if you're interested in our high school diploma equivalency, first step would be to apply with us, then schedule an appointment with your counselor, who would help you assess your situation, your career and education goals, and determine which option is best for you. Moving right along, we also offer English as a second language classes. Our English as a second language classes are very comprehensive. They're not just looking at speaking, writing, listening, and speaking. Sorry, reading, writing, listening, and speaking English. They're looking at computer skills, research skills, job search, job placement, how to support your children through their homework. And then there's also the opportunity of transitioning to City Mason Miramar after they've completed our classes, class 1 through 5 here, an opportunity to transition into our high school diploma program or one of our career certificate programs. But if you know of anyone that may be interested, send them our way. We can help them. We can support them through all of that application process. We're going to be enrolling here for our summer classes, so it's a perfect time to apply and get up and ready with your class schedule. The other aspect that I wanted to touch on today is our student support services. So we realize that as adult education students, school may not be your only responsibility. You may have children, parents, you may have work responsibility, volunteer responsibility, whatever your situation is. And in addition to that, if you've been away from education for a little bit and you're trying to ease your way back into it, it can be a little nerve-wracking, it can be a little intimidating. But I want you to know that whether you take College of Continuing Education as one option or you jump into our City Mason Miramar colleges, you have a large support system here rooting for you and wanting for you to be successful. And the support comes to you in multiple ways, whether that be, hi, good morning, checking in on you, how are you doing? You're in your class, making those connections with your classmates or faculty, but that also support also comes to you through our student support services. Our student support services are free to our students that are enrolled with College of Continuing Education, and you have multiple services. We have counseling and support services. So let's say that you're trying to figure out what's next for you. You're not quite sure whether you want to go into the workforce or you want to continue your education. Come talk to our counseling and support services to kind of get a little bit more support, orientation on what are some options for you. We have CalWorks. Maybe you're already receiving benefits from the county and you're a single or both parent household and you need additional support. Come talk to us. Some of the support that CalWorks offers for students that are already receiving aid include bus passes, parking passes here at the school, a laptop, things of that nature. We also have our Pathways programs. So for students who may be currently experiencing homelessness, and this can be any type of homelessness, we are available to provide individualized support for the student. Again, because it's individualized, it can look very different to each student, but some of the services that we provide include your bus pass, a laptop, a hotspot service. Maybe you're a homeless student or a student that identifies as homeless and is participating, and you're participating in the Culinary program, and you need to purchase your chef coat, but you don't have the means to purchase the chef coat, then the Pathways program will support you with covering the cost. We also have our Gateway to College career program, specifically for 18 to 24-year-old students that are working towards receiving their high school diploma and or equivalency. And they are part of a cohort model, which provides a community, encouragement, and support to work together towards that end goal. We have career services. They'll talk a little bit in a few other slides. And we also have our technology access support program. This program is specifically for students who are enrolled at San Diego College of Continuing Education and who don't have access to a laptop and or Wi-Fi. Students would apply to this program and would be eligible for a free laptop and or free 6-month hotspot service. And these are only a few support services. We have many others. And if there's something that I didn't touch on today or in this particular slide, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, give us a call, connect with us so that we can help you identify the needs that you may have. The other program that I wanted to talk to you about today is our disability support programs and services. And so our DSPS program provides students with a documented visible or non-visible disability with additional support. In that support, our recommendations for the class may vary per student. Maybe a student needs registration assistance. Maybe they need a campus liaison. They need support with someone taking notes. Maybe they need access to technology. Maybe they need support with connecting with some of our specialized classes. Maybe they need testing accommodations. Maybe they need a learning disability assessment. Whatever the student needs is, once a student has applied with us, then they would make an appointment with our DSPS counselor, who would then assess the student, have a conversation of what the student's requesting and what accommodations we can provide, and get the student the support that they need. It can seem like an intimidating process because you're starting from the get-go. You may be meeting the counselor for the first time, your teachers for the first time, but I just want you to know that there is support available should you need it, and don't hesitate to reach out. Again, you do have to be a student at San Diego College of Continuing Education, and we can then connect you with one of our DSPS counselors who is ready and willing to provide the support that you need. The other service that I wanted to touch on briefly today was our Career College Transition Center and Services. And I wanted to share this with you because you're coming back with the goal of entering the workforce or entering or continuing your education. And that in itself takes a lot of courage for you to some students to come back and return, and we commend you for that. And we're excited to have you. And we want to make sure that we provide all the support that you need to be successful, not only on campus, but when you leave us. And so if you're interested in continuing or entering the workforce, we have our career and college transition centers and services that provide you with support with building your resume, building your cover letter, preparing for a job interview, that will support you with the job search, that will support you with the job placement, that will support you with connecting with different employers in the area. So with the goal of getting you, whether it be an internship, an externship, or employment opportunity. And of course, you also have access to our career counselors who will help you kind of assess your skills and assess what type of environments you feel that you would be most successful in when it comes to jobs, and having those conversations of what's the right fit for you. Or maybe you're currently in the workforce and you want to change it up, you want to try something new. Our career counselors can support you with those conversations and providing you that knowledge that you need to be able to branch out and start something new, as well as make those connections in the workforce here in San Diego. Whew, I know that's a lot of information. So again, as you're thinking through it, don't hesitate to reach out via the chat, type in your questions, and of course you have our contact information. I have a couple more slides for you all. Oh,
We did have one question,
yes.
and it just came to
Mhm.
me.
Okay.
But
Oh,
if you're in
we love questions.
Carlsbad, if you're in Carlsbad, what location would they go to for?
Great question. Great question. So the closest location to you in Carlsbad would be our CE Miramar location or our CE Mesa location, if you're okay doing that little drive down. Also near CE Mesa, we have our North City campus. So those three would be the closest to you. If you are okay with driving down to us, we can definitely you can definitely do a program through one of our locations. However, we do have many programs that are currently being offered fully online. So if you were comfortable with taking your class via Zoom, then there would be no need for you to drive down. All right, so
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
go ahead.
I was just going to say we also had a comment where we're joined this morning by Black Tech Links, Elizabeth Cotton. She says, "Thank you for providing such great information."
Oh, thank
And
you.
Mary said, "Thank you for the answer to her question."
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're exciting. Just a couple more slides here for you folks. I promise I'll make it as quick and painless as possible. Let's see here. So one of the other, I talked in the previous slide briefly about you're coming to us and we want to make sure that you're prepared when you are ready to enter the workforce. Another aspect that I want to talk about today is, should you choose to continue your education, whether that be at City, Mesa, or Miramar College. And I'm aware that there's multiple community colleges in the area, but I highly recommend that if you're going through San Diego College of Continuing Education and you're particularly going through one of our career certificate training programs that we talked about earlier, you want to highly consider continuing education at City, Mesa, and Miramar. And the reason being is that because we are sister colleges, majority of our career transition, our career certificate training classes have been approved by City and Mesa Miramar as college credit classes. So for example, if you're in the automotive program and you go through all of our automotive program, you can receive up to 27 college credits for the classes that you pass with their B or better. Or another example could be our child development class. You complete 2 introductory courses in the child development classes here at College of Continuing Education. You can transfer 3 college credits to Mesa College, and that can count towards a certificate at Mesa College or an associate's degree at Mesa College. This is only one option for you in addition to entering the workforce. Is continuing education at City, Mesa, and Miramar. Not only would you receive college credit for some of the coursework that you've done here with us, but in addition to that, you would be transferring to City, Mesa, and Miramar as an applicant of the San Diego Promise program. I don't know if any one of you has heard of our San Diego Promise program, but our San Diego Promise program provides students with 2 years of free tuition. Again, that's 2 years of free tuition. So just to provide a little perspective for you all, let's say that you commit to San Diego College of Continuing Education for 1 year. And if you recall, there's no enrollment or tuition costs for San Diego College of Continuing Education. And then you decide to continue your education at City, Mesa, and Miramar, and you apply as a San Diego Promise program student, you will be getting 2 additional years of no tuition, free enrollment costs. So that's a total of 3 years without having to pay for your classes. All you would be responsible would be to showing up for school, would be to showing up for your completing your class assignments, purchasing any supplies that you may need. And of course, if you don't have the means to cover specific supplies, then that's when you would come to our student support services for support here. And once you transfer over to the City, Mesa, Miramar, you would contact their student support services for additional support. So I realize that some folks may not be considering continuing education, or may think that, well, it's too late for me. It's never too late, folks. College of Continuing Education has an opportunity for you to enter the workforce and or continue education at City, Mesa, and Miramar. So let's see here. So how does it work? How do you apply? Now that I've told you what College of Continuing Education is, what programs we have to offer, what are your options after San Diego College of Continuing Education, how do you apply? The application process is relatively simple. You would first start on our website, complete the application, doesn't take more than 10 minutes to apply. As soon as you apply, you'll be receiving your 10-digit student ID number, which will then help you register for an orientation if an orientation is available for one of our programs, and or make an appointment with your college counselor, high school counselor, our DSPS counselors, our Pathways program before you enroll. And then once you have your information about enrollment, then the next piece would be to enroll in classes. It's a relatively easy process. The key thing here is what do you want to do? Do you want to go into one of our career training? Do you want to do our high school diploma equivalency program? Do you want to do our ESL classes? Maybe you want to take one of our personal professional development courses, like you want to take keyboarding, or you want to take Microsoft Suite or ceramics, music, piano, a wellness course, whatever course you want to take. This is how you're going to get started. The first step would be to apply. Now, you might realize that, or you might have noticed that in the steps that I outlined, I did not mention completing a FAFSA or California Dream Act. We don't participate in financial aid because we are non-credit, and we have no enrollment for classes. Again, we are free in that aspect, so we don't require students to complete the financial aid or California Dream Act application. You only have 5 steps: apply, sign up for an orientation, attend your orientation, meet with the counselor, and enroll for classes. And you're good to go. And that brings me to the end of our presentation. We're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. And again, I'd like to thank you again for having me, inviting me virtually into your home, the library, your office, wherever it is that you find yourself. And I know that was a ton of information. So if you remember anything from today's presentation, I just invite that you keep an open mind of San Diego College of Continuing Education, and that you consider us as one option for you to continue your education and or receive free short-term career training. You have our contact information here and in the chat, so don't hesitate to reach out. You have myself and wonderful outreach ambassadors that are ready to support you in your next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valeria, for joining us this morning. I learned a lot more that was available with the San Diego College of Continuing Education. I am so glad you're here. I am happy to hear about the DSPS, the Disability Support Programs and Services, the Direct Aid Support, and the Technology Access Program. If we have families who are interested in taking advantage of those 3 or all of the different supports,
Mhm.
what would they need to do during the application process, or how would they let you know that they have a need for those programs?
Great question. So if you're referring the students to us directly, then we would already kind of, before we meet with the student, because you're referring them to us, we would then be prepared to have these conversations and ask what type of support they need. But if it's a student that wasn't referred to us, that they follow up with us a couple weeks down the road, whatever, for either the summer or fall semester, I always tell students, advocate for yourself. You're going to come to our office and we're going to be ready and excited, and we're going to help you with the application. But it can be a bit overwhelming. While the process is short and easy, it's still a new process. It's still, you're putting yourself out there. And so don't be afraid to say, well, I need support connecting with career services. I need support connecting with your pathways program for support with, because I'm currently experiencing homelessness. Or don't be afraid to say, I have a documented visible or non-visible disability. Do you have some support? Definitely advocate for yourself. Let us know what it is that you need, and then we will do the groundwork and connect you with folks here on campus.
That's really, really awesome. You mentioned the Pathways program again, and there's just a lot that is offered and that's available. So I am so excited about this. I am excited about you all coming back on the 25th of this month
Yes.
to share this presentation in Spanish.
Mhm.
We have a lot of families who could benefit from this. A lot of moms and dads who are wanting to continue their education, a lot of children who are transitioning. They may be, again, visible, non-visible individuals with disabilities. They may be high functioning, lower functioning, and you have really really great support. So I'm so glad that we were able to share this morning. And I want to give an opportunity for any further questions from
Please.
any one of our attendees as well. I'm just got my eyeballs on the chat.
Good. I am just there in a couple more flyers here while we wait for some questions to trickle in of some upcoming opportunities for the summer. I'm sharing our flyer for our Career Bridge Hospitality and our Career Bridge Childcare. This is for folks who are considering or want to learn more about the opportunities in childcare and hospitality. Each program is 2 courses. It's fully online. It's free. So it would just be something to consider if maybe you want to get connected, but you're not sure. This would be these 2 programs would be a great starting point.
Okay.
And of course, Melissa, please feel free to distribute
Oh yes.
the information that I shared via, with your staff or your other parents.
Yes, we'll have the handouts and the slides, as well as the video replay, available on our resources page. We'll also have the video on our YouTube this Friday. Um, so, again, I thank you. If you all don't or unable to download those 2 flyers, they'll be on our Facebook page. I will add them in today, and they'll be in our rotation um, if you're unable for some reason to download them. But again, I just want to thank you, Valeria, and we're looking forward to the 25th of this
We're
month.
excited. We're excited as well.
Yes, I have to make sure it's the 25th and not the 24th. So it definitely is the 25th at 11 a.m. We are going to have you back to present this presentation for our Spanish families at 11 a.m. So if you know anyone, those of you who are on with us, please, please, please direct them to our site so that they can register. We can get them the link out for the 25th at 11 a.m. And Mary says, thank you. Thank you, Mary, for being with us here till the end. Thank you, Elizabeth. We thank everyone that joined. David, we thank you for joining. Anyone who has any questions or needs to further connect, feel free to reach out to us. Of course, any of the emails that you received to register, you can always reply to those, and that'll come directly to me. If you have questions concerning other supports and services, feel free to do so. Again, thank you so much, Valeria, for being with us this morning, and we'll see you on the 25th.
Thank you, Melissa, again for having us. For the students that were able to join us, thank you. And I look forward to continuing to work with you, Melissa, and your students and supporting them with their career and educational goals. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye, everyone.